This is a Hot Pie Media original.
Welcome to the Amy Edwards Show. I'm your host, Amy Edwards, and I'm so excited that you're here, that I'm here, that we're all here, that we have this technology. Did I drink too many supplements today? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But I am juiced up just on the good shit and ready to share it all today and up-level our lives, because that's what we're here for. We're about inspiring people at any age to overcome fear, live your dreams, live your best life, constantly get there to whatever your goals are. So I'm ready to do this thing. Please subscribe, rate, review, all that stuff you hear on podcasts all the time. It really matters. So if you could do that, please know how grateful I am. I actually am one of these people now, whenever I listen to podcasts, I do it because I know how much it means. And it helps us get better guests. It helps us get better everything. And so I'm just excited to keep building this with you. So thank you in advance for that. Or thank you if you've already done it. And thank you for being here. Just being here is plenty, and I'm so grateful. So today, I'm just going to talk to you. We're checking in on our habits today. I need to do that periodically. So let's get to today's episode. Oh, I have to tell you a little bit about sovereignty. You know I love it. I've drank my Purpose Plus today. I'm feeling phenomenal. I love that stuff. So stick around for a unique discount code at the end for listeners of this show. Sovereignty creates these game-changing supplements to make your days better, to make your nights better. How rad is that? First off, to make your days better, they've got Purpose Plus. And it's so cool because when you buy them, it talks about setting your intention for the day. And I love that reminder. Just as you drink it, really getting in touch with what you want to achieve or what you want to tap into that day, or just simply my intention is to love myself more, if that's perhaps it. Maybe for today's episode. So Purpose Plus is a blend of CBD, CBG, and 7 clinically studied ingredients with the world's best Ayurvedic-inspired adaptogens. It delivers results you can feel almost immediately, at least I can, and it empowers and supports your mind and body to feel better, be better, and achieve new levels of mindfulness, productivity, whatever you want to achieve, whatever that intention is that you have. Also, they have Dream Plus, which is 5 clinically studied ingredients, CBD and CBN, and adaptogens to heal your body from the day while you sleep, also help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and really recover your brain while you're sleeping, which is so crucial to every single function that we have, literally. So if you're not happy with your results, they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you are interested, which how could you not be, right? I love this stuff. Use code AMY for 20% off of your order. That's at sovereignty.co, SOVEREIGNTY.co, or sov.live. And remember, enter code AMY for 20% off your order with Sovereignty. All right, today we're going to do a quickie habit check-in, sorta. Okay. So I got to thinking about this because I did a really awesome podcast as a guest with Be You by Jill Herman. And she's going to be a guest on this show in the coming months, which I'm very excited about. She has a really unique perspective. I so enjoyed talking to her. She brought out a lot of interesting thoughts and I had a blast. I encourage you to listen to it. It just came out like a couple weeks ago. So it's called Be You podcast. And I'll put it in the show notes too for today's episode. So for her listeners, I created a 5-step Be You and Grow PDF. And it got me thinking just about a check-in on my own habits. So I was out for a walk in nature with some friends the other day, one of whom was Aaron Alexander. Aaron was a guest on this show. Gee, maybe you can tell me what episode he was on. I can't remember. It was in July or August, I think. And he was highly entertaining. Anyway, he was telling me about some things he's building and his YouTube and how he was going to structure that. And he was telling me how, you can hire people to do your SEO, and then you can get 2 cameras, and like just his whole layout of what he was going to do with his YouTube. And it was really interesting to hear. And of course, my mind starts going and I'm like, oh God, should I do that? Wait, do I need to do that? And I was like, I don't know. It's like you hear these things and you think all these shoulds, like, oh, I should be doing that. Oh, fuck, I better, do these things that I hear about because that's the right way to do it, or that's what I should be doing. And I got really sidetracked for a moment with that and felt like, am I hearing, you go, oh my God, am I hearing this for a reason? Is that what I need to be doing? And I realized when I was talking to him, it was valuable information. But I also realized that sometimes that splits me off in too many ways. And even as I created 5 habits to be you and grow for Jill's listeners, which I'm happy, the PDF I'm going to put out in another way too for this episode. I guess I just felt like, am I focusing on too much? And I had put down this book and picked it back up. It's called The One Thing. It is by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. I was reading it a while back and I put it down, and now I've picked it back up and I'm trying to read through it. But it was just funny that those things coincided. And I thought, oh, no, I think this is meant to show me that I need to get more focused on one thing and not divide myself up anymore. So what am I really focused on? And for me, it was this show. For me, I just knew without even really delving into anything. I'm like, this is what's important to me. Is that aligned with it? No, I feel like I'd be putting my energy in the wrong direction, or at least in something that seems related, but is just adjacent and perhaps can veer me off path just a little bit. So I was like, no, I'm going to devote my time to this. So I was really grateful for that conversation because it impacted me in a way that I didn't expect. So as I thought about this solo cast and thought about going over these 5 habits, it occurred to me too that maybe that's just too much sometimes. Maybe it's better if we can boil it down to one thing that we can really just build into an automatic practice. And if I had to suggest one thing, I would say it's a self-love practice. So that is one of these 5 things that was on the list. And when I mentioned it to Jill on that show, she said, I don't really have a self-love practice. And I think that's really common. So this habit check-in today, if we just talk about one thing, I'm going to talk about all 5, and I'm doing a Reels series. It should be out by the time this comes out, a Reels series about these 5. But if we're going to pick one thing, like this book says, one thing gets results because we get so scattered, right? I'm going to pick this self-love practice because so many people don't even have one. And in fact, I have only cultivated and developed mine into a practice in the last definitely year and a half, but I think I've gotten way more conscious about it in the last 6 months. So he says, this is according to this book by Gary Keller, The One Thing. Why does the one thing work? Because extraordinary success is sequential, not simultaneous. What starts out linear becomes geometric, right? Meaning it just builds over time. You're knocking down the bigger dominoes with a smaller domino. You do the right thing, then you do the next right thing. And over time it adds up and the geometric potential of success is unleashed. The domino effect applies to the big picture, like your work or your business, and it applies to the smallest moment in each day when you're trying to decide what to do next. Success builds on success, and as this happens over and over, you move toward the highest success possible. It takes time. It's built sequentially. That's okay. But as we're building our habits and our practices, I'm just here to encourage you today, to give you an invitation to tap into your self-love practice. What is that like? Is it unconditional? Or is it, no, it's when I lose that weight. It's when I meet someone. It's when I get my shit together. It's when I finally get that e-course I've been putting together done. Are we putting little parameters on our own self-love rather than doing it right here in the now? Y'all, I've done it my whole life. So don't worry. I'm certainly not sitting in any place of judgment whatsoever. Just encouraging you. What is your self-love practice? Can we check in on that and get intentional and consistent with it? And what does it look like? It can look like all different things. I've adapted mine, and it is looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself I love you, and saying nice things and meaning it, feeling it. And you have to spend a few minutes doing it, like 5 minutes, like an uncomfortable amount of minutes, like an amount of minutes where if someone saw you, they'd think, what the fuck is that person doing? Unless they're like me, I'd be like, you go. I'd be like cheering. Yes, you are. And luckily I have a partner now who I've encouraged enough to do this, and he's seen me do it, and I've just been open and vulnerable with it. And so now he does it too. And if he sees me doing it, it's not as weird. Let's say, I wouldn't say it's not weird at all, because it is a little. So I just think if we can tap into that as a practice, as a habit that we build, so much spills out just from that one thing. Like if you don't remember to meditate every day, if you don't remember anything else, just this one thing, a self-love practice. Because also, as you're loving yourself more, you get more conscious about the things you're doing for yourself, what you're putting in your body, whether you're going to sleep. I love myself. And then, maybe you choose to put your phone away and read a book and then fall asleep. And mine is even a part of when I fall asleep, because I've talked about this numerous times, I think, but my ruminating mind would just it would dredge up something from years ago as I was falling asleep. It would beat me up about who fucking knows what. Just pick something, right? What kind of a mom I am, or a friend, or, this that I did wrong, or this I acted like an idiot, or I fucked up, or whatever, or I look like a dumbass on Instagram. I don't know, like all those little things, right? Instead, I don't do that anymore. As I'm falling asleep, I just sit there and tell myself, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Life loves me. I am love. I love myself. I love you, Amy. throw your name in there. So as I sit and think about 5 things, I was like, nah, what about one thing? And for me, I just think, I don't know, talk to me in a year or two and see if it's still the number one priority. I have a feeling it will be. And I just would encourage everyone to really, really love yourself in a healthy way. I'm not talking about, an arrogant way or anything like that, but just a real way where you're unconditionally accepting yourself just as you are in this beautiful moment. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com. BetterHelp is an online therapy service because we all need that little extra something sometimes. I know I've been in therapy numerous times, and it has helped me so, so much. So the nice thing about doing it online is that they have evolved it to really suit us. You don't have to travel anywhere. You can message your therapist anytime. You can switch therapists at no charge. And they actually really encourage that if you're not connecting with someone, which is so cool, right? They assess your needs. And once you sign up on BetterHelp, you can start communicating with a licensed therapist within 48 hours. You can send them messages whenever you want. They get back to you in a timely fashion. You don't want to feel like you're bothering someone. And I think the therapists there know that they are there for you when you need them. And that's so cool. So I love what they've set up because they're helping over 1 million people worldwide already and constantly adding more therapists. You can log into your account anytime. You can send messages to your therapist. Did I mention they have a broad range of expertise too? And they're constantly expanding that. So if you have something very specific, you can find someone who specializes in that, who knows how to work with you, who knows what your needs really are. That is so beautiful. And also it's more affordable than traditional therapy, which is a really cool aspect of it, probably because it's online, right? They don't have to have the brick and mortar going on, and financial aid is available too. That's how committed they are. So you can go online to betterhelp.com/reviews, and they have a zillion reviews there, and they're all amazing. And they have new ones literally every day. I'm constantly amazed when I come to record these and I go on their website and I'm like, oh my God, these are all brand new reviews. So it's really a true testament to what they're doing and what they're building and this amazing therapy community. So visit betterhelp.com/AES and you can get 10% off of your first month and join the over 1 million people who are taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. It's so beautiful. It's a special offer of 10% off for BetterHelp. Again, that is betterhelp.com/AES. I'm going to put a link up to the PDF and adapted for this show, because I want you to have it too. Self-love practice is number 1. So it was all about just little habits that we can check in about for our own growth, for our own push into just that little percentage better every single day. So you don't have to do them every day. But here they are. Number 2, after self-love practice, is adapting the beginner mentality. Just getting into the habit of remembering that we're making progress and getting better. And it's okay to stumble and fall. It's okay to make messy progress. It's okay to be like a kid who's just building something. They don't care. My 12-year-old does not give a shit, right? She's like, wow, Mom, that's great. You had 3 people on your Instagram Live or whatever it was. I don't know if you remember me talking about that weeks ago. But, like, and you're like, yeah. Why am I getting all caught up in this other shit, right? It brings more humility, beauty, humor to everything that we do. So beginner mentality is number 2. Number 3, add value. Instead of looking at what's not there, think about what we can give and how can I add value today? How can I add value to my own life? Maybe by a self-love practice, just a thought. But also, how can you add value and cultivate that? And I think you can just watch your life transform as you focus on adding value, because it takes us out of comparison mode, out of jealousy mode, out of stagnation mode, into growth mode, into doing my part mode, into I love this because I know that I'm adding value in the world, whether it's to one person or 1,000 people. Number 4, habit awareness. So that's part of the whole habit check-in. You're already doing that right now, but just staying aware of our habits, good and bad. Staying aware of when we're ruminating and beating ourselves up. And perhaps moving that into something different, like a self-love practice, like telling ourselves the nice stuff. It just gives us the awareness of when to give ourselves the space to change, when to give ourselves the space to grow, and not to judge ourselves. Not judge ourselves in that. That's a good practice in itself, right? Dropping the judgment and just becoming aware of it. Just being like, okay, yeah, this is something I'm doing. All right. So I see, right? And then we're able to grow, or maybe even ask the questions of, why do I like to do that? Am I bored? What is it? Am I watching porn because I'm bored? Whatever the habit is, right? That's probably not serving us in the best way. All right. The 5th one is gratitude practice. So if you haven't implemented this one yet, it's a great one also. Writing down just a few things. I like 5. I just like the number 5. So writing down 5 things that you are grateful for every single day, it starts to train your mind to get into the habit of looking for things to be grateful for and just feeling that gratitude. And also a gratitude practice you can use to manifest things in your own life. You can write down things as if they're present. Like, I've started writing down, I'm so grateful for this house that Justin and I are manifesting. And because we're trying to move forward to own a home. And I know that it's a bit in the distance, or maybe it's not. I don't know. What do I know? Who knows? Maybe it's not that far in the distance. And so I write it down as if it's in the present and feel gratitude for it and live in that space. So there are the 5. But if I have to pick one, it's that self-love practice. So what does yours look like? I would love to hear from you. If you want to tell me what it looks like, please do. Please do. Hit me up at amy@amyedwards.com or hit me on Instagram. Comment, tell me. I would love to know if you've got other self-love practices. I'm at Real Amy Edwards. So tell me, because I'm all about it, and opening this up to a wider conversation of what your self-love practices look like. Because you might get in the habit, I already am, of every time I look in the mirror saying, I love you. And boy, is that a change for me because I've beaten myself up for fucking years. Looking in the mirror, picking myself apart, shrugging and going, well, this is as good as it's going to get today. You know, it doesn't matter what someone looks like. It's that internal thing. And anyway, when you have it, it spills out. People feel it. It's true. So can you get to that one thing? Build that one habit. This is your check-in for that today. Thank you so much for being here today. I know it was a shorter episode. We will be back with another interview next week. If you like this, though, let me know because I am leaning into doing some more solo episodes because I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's really fun and a great way to connect with you more and get more in touch with what we've really got going on. So I'm excited to build this and I'd love to hear from you and know what you have to say about it or leave me a review. I do read those and I'm so grateful for every single one. So thank you so much. Or you can always reach out to me, amy@amyedwards.com or on Instagram @realamyedwards. You can comment on any of these posts or send me a DM. I try to get to those a little easier via email. I'm more apt to see those. So thank you so much for being here. I'm ending these with an affirmation. And you know what today is? It's I love myself. It's super simple. I know. Do you have that written down anywhere? Do you have it written on a Post-it note on your mirror? Okay, well, maybe try it. Give it a whirl. Just give it an experiment, right? And it might remind you of that self-love practice too, which is a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you to our team here. G is back there today. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone at Hot Pie. Remember that I'm also on Overcome with Justin Wren. And that is a phenomenal podcast and great episodes of that are coming out every week. We have one coming up this next Monday with Chris Long. He is hilarious. And we had a really good time shooting that one. So, anyway, check that out at Overcome with Justin Wren. And I just want to remind you to love yourself. Simple as that. So grateful that you're here. And I love you. So I do, unconditionally. Abso-fucking-lutely. And so just take that to heart because it's true. So thanks so much. And what else? What other little business do I need to get to? Just like rate, review, subscribe, all those good things that matter in the podcasting world. So grateful for those. And let's just keep building. Those little steps add up, right? Sequential. Wasn't that the word? Yes. Little steps add up. So keep at it, everybody. And here is wishing you just peace and love and health and wealth, joy, abundance, self-love, love, prosperity, the whole 9 yards. There's no limit to it. There's no piece of the pie. There is no pie. It's just all out there. Enough abundance for everyone. It's all within you. So I love you. Till next time.
Thank you so much for listening. If you liked this show, please rate and review. It totally matters. And I encourage you to spread the love too and share this episode with a friend if you feel called.